You know what's wild? Americans buy over 300 million cans of ravioli every year, and most of us have no idea which ones are actually edible. We just grab whatever's on sale or whatever our parents used to buy, cross our fingers, and hope for the best. While you've been nostalgically buying that blue can with the chef's face on it, the canned ravioli landscape has quietly evolved into a minefield of disappointment, artificial ingredients, and sodium bombs masquerading as Italian comfort food. Some brands are still coasting on childhood memories while serving you barely edible paste. Others have actually figured out how to make decent ravioli in a can. So let's talk about the 8 canned ravioli brands that range from absolute disasters to surprisingly legitimate food. Because life's too short to waste money on tomato-flavored mush that insults your intelligence and your taste buds. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously regrettable grocery store decisions. Number 8. Great Value Beef Ravioli. Launched in the mid-90s as Walmart's answer to Chef Boyardee, Great Value Beef Ravioli represents the absolute bottom of the canned pasta barrel. This is what happens when a corporation reverse engineers an already mediocre product with the sole goal of undercutting it on price. The pasta literally dissolves into slippery paste within seconds of heating, like wet newspaper that's been chewed and spit out. The filling has this gritty, sandy texture that feels like eating flavored joint compound. There's zero resistance when you bite down. Your teeth just pass through it like tomato-flavored gelatin. The sauce is so thin it runs off a spoon like water mixed with red food coloring. Here's the thing, you're looking at 220 calories and 870 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's 36% of your daily salt intake for something that tastes like nothing, at 88 cents. Per can, you're paying 14 cents per ounce for starch paste and red water. And get this, the ingredient list reveals beef as the 7th ingredient, appearing after water, tomato puree, and 3 different forms of corn syrup. Amazon reviewers use phrases like, tastes like absolutely nothing mixed with disappointment, and my dog wouldn't eat this and she eats garbage. Walmart doesn't need to make good ravioli. They need to make ravioli that's barely acceptable enough that price-conscious shoppers will buy it. They're banking on purchase fatigue. By the time you're in the canned pasta aisle, you're too exhausted to care about quality. You're paying 88 cents for the privilege of eating paste that makes you question your life choices. But that's rock bottom. Surely things can only get better from here, right? Number 7, Chef Boyardee Mini Ravioli. Introduced in 1982 as Chef Boyardee's kid-friendly option, the mini ravioli takes everything wrong with regular Chef Boyardee and makes it aggressively worse. This product proves that smaller isn't always better. Sometimes it's just mushier, sweeter, and more depressing. Each mini ravioli collapses on contact with your tongue like a water balloon full of paste. The smaller size creates this abysmal filling to pasta ratio. 20% filling, 30% dissolved pasta, 50% sauce. There's no resistance when biting. It's like eating tomato-flavored baby food that someone half-heartedly shaped into squares. The numbers are brutal. 240 calories, 920 milligrams of sodium. That's 38% of your daily intake, and 11 grams of sugar per cup. That's nearly 3 teaspoons of sugar in what's supposed to be pasta. Customer reviews include gems like, my 5-year-old ate it, but he also eats glue. So that's not saying much, and tastes like someone dissolved regular Chef Boyardee in Hawaiian Punch. This is pure marketing. Cynicism. Conaga's research showed mini format tests well with parents who think smaller equals more kid appropriate. The reality? Smaller pasta overcooks faster in the industrial canning process. The bright can with cartoon-style graphics signals kid-friendly in a way that makes tired parents feel less guilty about buying processed junk. You're essentially paying $2 for baby food consistency marketed to 8-year-olds. But if you think sweetened pasta mush is bad, wait until you meet the original disappointment machine. Number 6, Chef Boyardee Beef Ravioli. The flagship product that's dominated canned pasta since the 1950s, Chef Boyardee Beef Ravioli is the platonic ideal of American food industry cynicism. This brand has spent 70 years perfecting the art of hitting the absolute minimum acceptability threshold while maximizing profit margins. The pasta has the structural integrity of wet toilet paper, developing a slimy outer coating while the interior turns gummy and dense. Biting through feels like chewing a rubber eraser covered in mucus. The filling has a paste-like consistency, grainy, dry, gritty, like ground-up dog food mixed with sawdust. 230 calories, 890 milligrams of sodium. That's 37% of your daily salt in 1 cup, and only 7 grams of protein. That protein number is pathetic for something called beef ravioli. Reddit users consistently note not as good as I remembered, and tastes exactly like childhood, which made me realize my childhood tasted terrible. And here's the real kicker. The ingredient list shows beef appearing after water, and it contains mechanically separated chicken in a product called beef ravioli. High fructose corn syrup appears twice in different forms. Conagra isn't selling ravioli, they're selling the memory of ravioli. They're banking on you buying this for your kids because your parents bought it for you, perpetuating a cycle of mediocrity across generations. You're buying beef ravioli that's primarily made with mechanically separated chicken. This isn't just corner cutting, it's borderline fraudulent. But here's where things start to shift. When you eliminate the mystery meat, something interesting happens. Number 5, Chef Boyardee cheese ravioli. Added to the Chef Boyardee lineup in the 1970s as a vegetarian alternative, the cheese ravioli became the second best seller after beef. By complete accident, Conagra discovered that cheese survives the canning process better than processed meat slurry. It's still mushy and oversoft, but marginally better. The pasta holds its shape for approximately 30 seconds longer before dissolving. The cheese filling has a creamy, smooth consistency that's actually recognizable as cheese-like. There's no gritty, sandy texture like the beef version. 220 calories, 810 milligrams of sodium. That's 34% of daily value, but 8 grams of actual protein. Customer reviews note way better than the beef kind, which isn't saying much but still, and actually tastes like cheese instead of sadness. Real ricotta cheese is listed as the primary filling ingredient, huge improvement over mystery meat. The tangy cheese flavor cuts through the aggressively sweet sauce in a way that almost works. Bottom line, Conagra probably didn't intend for the cheese version to be better. It just worked out that way because ricotta cheese is harder to screw up than fake beef. It's still Chef Boyardee. The pasta still dissolves into mush, the sauce is still too sweet, and you're still consuming 34% of your daily sodium in one sitting. Being the best worst option is like being the smartest kid in summer school. Of course, being the best version of Chef Boyardee is like being the tallest building in a trailer park. Let's see what happens when brands actually try. Number 4, Annie's Organic Cheesy. Ravioli launched in 2015 after General Mills acquired Annie's. This organic option represents the first canned ravioli on our list that crosses the threshold from technically edible to actual food. You're getting organic pasta filled with organic ricotta and parmesan in the organic tomato sauce. There's actual firmness when you bite down. The pasta doesn't immediately collapse like Chef Boyardee does. There's legitimate resistance requiring actual chewing. The cheese filling is creamy and smooth, not grainy or gritty. When you cut into it, the pasta edge stays intact instead of tearing into shreds. 180 calories, 680 milligrams of sodium. That's 28% of daily value, which is 25% less than Chef Boyardee, and only 4 grams of sugar. At $2.50 to $3.50 per can, you're paying about 23 cents per ounce, roughly 35% more than Chef Boyardee, but the quality increase is over 100%. USDA organic certified with ingredients that read like actual food. Organic pasta, organic ricotta, organic parmesan, organic tomatoes, olive oil. No high fructose corn syrup, no mechanically separated anything, no artificial colors. But here's where it gets tricky. Annie's figured out they couldn't half-ass the organic part because their customers will actually notice. Unlike Chef Boyardee buyers who buy on nostalgia plus price, Annie's buyers read every ingredient and check certifications. This is the first ravioli on the list without a deal-breaking flaw. Proof that organic doesn't have to be a scam, sometimes it actually means better. But if Annie's proves organic can deliver, wait until you see what happens when you combine quality with Trader Joe's pricing magic. If this is already saving you from a bad meal, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 3, Trader Joe's Organic Cheese Ravioli added to Trader Joe's. Shelf-stable section around 2012, this ravioli represents the sweet spot of quality and price that TJ's occasionally nails. At $2.49 to $2.99 per can, this delivers premium taste at mid-tier cost. What makes this particularly impressive is that it rivals brands costing $1 more per can. The pasta has actual tooth to it with enough firmness that you feel like you're eating real pasta, not mush. The edges stay crisp and defined even after heating. The cheese filling is generous with that stretchy, melty quality you expect from mozzarella. When you bite through, there's satisfying resistance followed by a creamy interior. 185 calories, 640 milligrams of sodium, that's 27% of daily value, and only 3 grams of naturally occurring sugar. At $2.49 to $2.99, you're paying roughly 19 cents per ounce. Premium quality at mid-tier pricing. Best quality to price ratio in the entire category. The ingredient list reads like what you'd use at home. Organic durum wheat, organic ricotta, organic mozzarella, organic tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, herbs. Customer quotes include, "Why is this so much better than it has any right to be? And I keep 3 cans in my pantry for emergencies. It's that good." Trader Joe's entire business model is premium store brands at accessible prices. They contract with quality manufacturers, likely Italian producers for this product, and sell it for less than national brands because they don't pay for advertising or brand placement fees. The real kicker is this ravioli probably comes from the same facility that makes premium Italian imports sold at Whole Foods for $5 plus per can. This rivals Amy's quality, which costs over $1 more per can. The democratic option, premium ravioli without the premium attitude or price tag. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2, Amy's Organic Cheese Ravioli. Founded in 1987 by Andy and Rachel Berliner and named after their daughter Amy, Amy's Kitchen built its reputation on refusing to compromise quality for convenience. At $3 to $4 per can, this is premium pricing, but the quality justifies every penny. You're getting organic pasta with ricotta and romano filling in organic marinara made with San Marzano-style tomatoes. The pasta is firm and al dente, actually requiring chewing, genuine resistance when you bite down. The pasta edges are clean and defined, not mushy or blurred. When you cut into it, the ravioli maintains structural integrity. No collapsing, no filling squirting out. Texture-wise, this is 80% of the way to fresh restaurant ravioli. 170 calories, 590 milligrams of sodium. That's 25% of daily value, the lowest on this entire list, and only 2 grams of naturally occurring sugar from tomatoes. 10 grams of protein, which is excellent for canned food. Premium organic ingredients, organic durum wheat, semolina, organic ricotta, organic Romano cheese imported from Italy, organic San Marzano-style tomatoes, organic extra virgin olive oil. No corn syrup, no preservatives, no artificial anything. Customer reviews are almost universally positive. Closest to homemade I found in a can, and my Italian mother-in-law approved, which says everything. What makes this particularly noteworthy is they're one of the few food companies that hasn't sold out to a conglomerate despite acquisition offers. The price is high because quality ingredients actually cost more. Organic certification is expensive, and they refuse to cut corners. You're paying 2 to 3 times more than Chef Boyardee, but getting 10 times better quality. The benchmark that proves canned ravioli doesn't have to be a compromise, but even Amy's impressive quality can't quite touch what happens when a heritage Italian company decides to make canned ravioli the right way. Number 1, Pastene Kitchen Ready Cheese. Ravioli, founded in 1848 as an Italian import company in Boston's North End, Pastene represents 175 years of Italian-American food heritage. At $3.50 to $4.50 per can, this is the most expensive option on our list, and it's worth every single penny. You're getting traditional Italian-style ravioli with a 4-cheese blend, ricotta, mozzarella, parmesan, and romano, in San Marzano DOP marinara. This is the gold standard. The pasta is firm and substantial with genuine al dente bite that feels like fresh ravioli. You can pick up a piece with a fork and it holds its shape without bending or collapsing. The filling is rich, dense, and generous with no hollow pockets. When you bite through, there's authentic resistance followed by a luxurious, creamy cheese blend. This doesn't taste canned, it tastes like someone made ravioli this morning and packed it for you. 190 calories, 620 milligrams of sodium. That's 26% of daily value. And only 2 grams of naturally occurring sugar. 11 grams of protein, the highest protein content of any option on this list. Italian-sourced ingredients including imported Italian cheeses, San Marzano DOP tomatoes, Italian durum wheat pasta, and extra virgin olive oil from Italy. Customer reviews when you can find them are universally glowing. Holy shit, canned ravioli can actually be good. I grew up in Italy and this is a legit, and tastes homemade. I'm not exaggerating. Pastene is a family-owned Italian import company with deep roots in Boston's Italian-American community. They created kitchen-ready ravioli because they refused to let American-made canned pasta represent Italian food. The limited availability might actually be strategic. By keeping distribution exclusive to specialty stores and select regions, Pastene maintains premium positioning and avoids competing directly with mass-market brands. This surpasses all other canned options by a wide margin, better than most frozen ravioli, competitive with fresh ravioli from mid-tier Italian markets. The only deal breaker is you can't find it unless you live near a specialty Italian market. But when you do find it, buy 6 cans because this is what canned ravioli dreams of being. Look, I went into this expecting all canned ravioli to hover around the same level of mediocre. Turns out the gap between worst and best is absolutely massive. We're talking about a $4 difference that separates inedible paste from legitimately good food. At the bottom, you've got great value and Chef Boyardee's various failures. Products that exist solely because we've normalized eating garbage as long as it's cheap and fast. In the middle, you've got Annie's proving that organic certification can actually mean something when companies try. At the top, you've got Trader Joe's, Amy's, and Pastene showing us that canned ravioli doesn't have to be sad. It just usually is because most companies don't care enough to make it better. Here's what you need to know. Don't trust the nostalgia. That blue can didn't taste good when you were 8. You just had lower standards and less developed taste buds. If you're buying canned ravioli, spend the extra $1 or $2 for quality. Your taste buds and your body will thank you. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll shop for canned ravioli, and drop a comment telling us which ranking you think we got wrong.